Blake, what do you do after every ride?
Beer.
No, before that.
Oh, hydrate.
All right, here's a list of things to do after every ride.
Oh, hi. I've done a few minutes. Now, before a ride, before you head out there, it's always good to limber up those muscles, get them working, get them stretched out. But I don't do it much post-ride. After all that lactic build-up in my muscles when I'm just going for an epic ride, knowing that I'm gonna go for a nice, warm, gentle cool down, it's always good to come back and do a few stretches just so you don't get those aches and pains, and also stops you from cramping up. Now, if you are cramping up, there's a number of things for that, which I won't dive into. Maybe drink a little bit more water or add a little bit more electrolytes to your drink.
I tried to do this one straight away. I have a dirty side of my van at home, so I don't get my kit mixed up because I always carry loads of riding kit. So I chuck my dirty kit by my bike, and after the ride, it's simple to just grab it and wash it. If it's super muddy like the UK winters, it won't go straight into the washing machine because that ends up being a nightmare. Don't ask me how I know how. Eventually, all the thick mud will block the filter in your machine, and you'll probably have a very messy, wet time trying to sort that out. So I normally hose off my outer layers in the really bad conditions. It doesn't look immaculate by any means, but the mass of mud is off, and then they can go into the washing machine with all my cleaner but wet layers. My pads and gloves go into the washing machine every time. I gently wash my helmet with a hose and brush or rag. Putting the pads through the washing machine every couple of months to freshen them up. Shoes get hosed and brushed and then dried. If my waterproof jacket is wet, but not really too muddy, then I might just air it out to dry it and save it for another ride.
Woo! Man. Oh, what a ride. Staying hydrated on your ride, no matter how short or how long. More so on a longer one, to stay hydrated. The cool thing about when you go for an epic ride and you use a Garmin, there's a unique feature on here that shows you how many calories you've burned, but more so on how much liquid you need to consume after that lengthy ride that you've had. Now, it's always good to have a bottle on your bike, or in a backpack, or in a hip bag with a bladder inside it.
I like to clean, dry and then lube my bike straight away when I get home after every ride. Or if somewhere like this in Spain where it's not too bad, what I will do is actually give the chain a really good clean and then lube it back up, and then I know it's ready for the next time. It's then a really good idea to do a bolt check on your bike. You should probably, after a while, learn which bolts come loose, if at all, on your bike. I sometimes find that rear axles do rattle a little bit loose after a while, so I'll double check that. Or, you know, when your bike is new, you might find that some pivot bolts come loose. What I'll do with those is actually put some Loctite on those, wind them back in, torque them up, and then you probably don't need to check them again. They should stay nice and tight. Also, I kind of make note of anything on the ride that might need doing, and sometimes actually write this down. If something like a lever needs moving or my stem's not quite straight off, so I'll just do it there and then. The things like maybe my brake's pulling in a little bit more than I thought it should be, so it might need a brake bleed or something like that, where I'll forget about it. I know I'll jump on the bike the next time and I'll only remember when I go and pull that brake and it pulls in a bit too far. So I've actually got a chalkboard in my garage. I write down any jobs that need doing and I try and remember to do those before the next ride. A really simple check is to just have a look at your brake pads as well. You can look down through the caliper and see how much meat is left on those pads. I'm actually quite prepared nowadays. I like to buy pads and have them in my garage so that I don't get to the point where they're worn out and I have to wait for them if I order them online. So I have a little stash of SRAM and Shimano pads ready to go because they're relatively cheap and you'll always need them. After a big effort on the bike, it's good to do a proper recovery ride. That's going to help you get over any muscle soreness a bit quicker. So just a big, long, low intensity ride. But to be honest, I only ever did those in my pro days when I was quite a serious trainer. I don't really do those anymore. Blake, what was your pro recovery like?
Mine was totally different. Free ride life was all about intensive, explosive energy, crashing a lot, learning stunts, doing all kinds of sort of things. And then my downtime was playing my Xbox. But it's totally different nowadays, isn't it, Neil?
What game are you playing?
Call of Duty.
Nowadays, I actually try and plan my weeks around, if I know I'm doing a big ride, then I'll try and do like a day in the office, you know, I'll work it like that so that I know I'm sat down, my legs are recovering. So I don't really do the recovery rides, but I'll just space it out. Because don't forget, after those big efforts, it's actually when you are having the rest, that's when you get fitter and stronger.
There you go. So there are a few tips on how to recover after a ride, Neil.
Yeah, things you should be doing to make sure you're ready to roll for next time.
Yeah.
Anyway, we haven't finished yet, we're still top of the hill.
I've got to eat this and we'll crack on. Thank you very much.
Sun's going down, so very quick.
I'll be up.